Hello everybody, my name is Rahul and in this video we will be creating a new cybersecurity project. Now if you are into development or pen testing, this project is going to help you a lot. So before I get into the video, let's just talk about what the project is about. So it is a streaming application. Now you might have seen a lot of OTT platforms that play live videos or video on demand. So what I have done here is I have tried to replicate the video on demand feature, and in this video what we will be doing is first of all creating it, learning about it, and thirdly I'll be giving you a small tips and tricks on what you can look to so that you can identify small loopholes or any vulnerability that might get you a bug. So let's get right into it. So before actually beginning with the video, let's quickly take a look at how streaming works, and along the video we'll be busting some of the myths. So one of the myths that you might have is that you upload a video on a streaming platform, let's say YouTube, and that video is about 100 megabytes in size. So that entire video will be uploaded, and when you want to download that video or play that video, the entire video will be downloaded as is. Now there is a small issue with this idea. So let's just say if the video was actually 100 MB in size, the entire video would have been first downloaded and then only you could be able to play that video. So getting my point? So until and unless the entire video has been downloaded, you will not be able to play that video. But is this the case with YouTube or any other streaming platform? No, it is not the case. So what is happening behind the hood? Let's take a look. So this is the exact scenario that is happening. Well, a part of the exact scenario that is happening in the white. So there is 100 megabytes file size or file of the video that you have uploaded. Now that video is broken down into certain chunks or segments based on a protocol. So generally when it comes to video streaming, there are a bunch of protocols. For example, Apple supports HLS, and YouTube, it supports Dash. So the entire video is broken down into multiple chunks, and each chunk has a manifest file attached to it. So the first time you want to view this video, what would happen is first this manifest file would be downloaded, which will point to the segments, and then it will download the first segment. You will be able to play this video, then it would download the next one, then the next one, and so on and so forth, and you will be able to play the entire video without having to download the entire 100 megabytes of size at once. So what vendors do is they go one step ahead. So what they typically do is, for example, this video is of the size 480p. So there would be two renditions of this video that they will produce. The one would be for 240p, the second one would be for 480p. Now depending upon the options that you choose while streaming the video, or based on your internet connection, because things are really smart nowadays, so either this manifest file would be downloaded or this would be downloaded. If this is downloaded, this will play and the entire video will be played. But let's say on the third video you want to play the video in a higher resolution. So what you would do is generally select a different manifest file by clicking on the video resolution, and then this file would be downloaded, and from the exact same segment, which is third, the video will start playing. Cool, isn't it? So now let's just take a look how this actually happens. Now let's quickly take a look at the number of things that you and I will be requiring to complete this project. Now the first and foremost, the most important thing that you require is a video file, because let's face it, without a video there can't be any app of this sort. So what I have done is I have downloaded a MP4 file. It's called earthrotate.mp4, and we'll be using this file to make a lot of chunks and a manifest file, which we will be uploading somewhere. Now that somewhere for me is Amazon S3 bucket, because it sounds fancy, but for the sake of it you can also host it locally, and that might be easier and cost effective as well. So the next thing that you and I require is to convert this MP4 file into a lot of chunks. So let's take a look. So this is our video file, which is the earth rotate file, and we require a command line utility to convert that file into a manifest file and a lot of chunks, which are the actual video files. So let's do it. So you will require a tool called ffmpeg. Now ffmpeg can only convert the input file in a HLS format. So there, as we talked about in the beginning of the video, there are a lot of formats. So one of the formats that ffmpeg can convert to is an HLS format. To convert it to other formats such as dash, there are other command line utilities like mp4 box. We'll not be discussing that, maybe that's topic for another video, but let's take a look into it. So ffmpeg you need to require and you need to install it. Now there's a file which is the earth rotate file that we just downloaded. You see here the format is HLS, and then here is the main manifest file. Now that manifest file has an extension of .m3u8. So this is a point to remember. Even while you are pen testing, if you see this file, you can be pretty damn sure that the format is HLS. So let's take a look at this. What is start number? So your segments will start from 0. Each segment will be of length 10 seconds, and your manifest file will contain all the segments. So I have already done this, and let me show it to you. So if you see here, this is my main mp4 file and this is my main manifest file. Now these are the actual chunks, which is main index up till 6. Now it has converted or made about 6 segments. Yours might be different depending upon how long the video is and how long the HLS time is. Now once you have this, you need to either keep all these TS files and main index.m3u8 file in a separate location, so that while you're creating your app, you can reference these. What I have done is I have created an S3 bucket and I have uploaded all of these files into the S3 bucket. Now let's for the fun of it, let's just main index.m3u8 file, let's cut it out, and here you will see that the main manifest file is referencing all these segments. It will download all these segments one by one. Just a small thing that I wanted to convey before we move on to the next part of this video is that if you are like me and you want to upload your segments to Amazon S3 bucket, what you need to do is you need to first of all configure some of the settings before you can actually start playing from there. But if you do not want to do this, you can totally skip this part out. So let's move forward. You need to go to the permissions tab and you need to enable public access. Right now I have disabled it, but you need to enable it. So the next thing that you need to do is enable CORS, because you will be streaming from a web application and that web application will make a request to the Amazon S3 bucket. Once you have that, you need to make sure that you have proper course configuration in place so that you don't get any browser side issues. Now that we are done with this, there is one more thing that I wanted to show you guys, and it is HLS also supports encryption. Now encryption can be through a lot of ways, but if you want to go a step forward and also want to try out how to encrypt these chunks, because right now if you play this main index.1.ts file, you will be able to play it using your video player. But if you want extra level of security, you can also encrypt it. M3u8 file. So this is the non-encrypted version. As you can see, as we discussed previously, there is no sign of key or anything. But if you see here, proc index.file. So if you see here, I have the IV, which is the initialization vector, and here is my key. So I also have encrypted these streams. So you will not be able to play these individual chunks until and unless you have the actual key which was used to encrypt this. So this is one more test case that you need to try out. If the stream is not encrypted, go forward, report it, and if it is encrypted, you might want to see that if there is a way through which you can extract that key. Okay guys, now is the moment of truth. Now we are going to run our video chunks. Let's see how it actually works. Now what I'm doing is I am using Node.js. I'm using Express as a framework, and what I'm doing here is I have the actual file in the Express directory, which is the index.html file. Here is the entire code. You can copy it out. I'll put the link to the GitHub repository here, and here is my S3 bucket, my sweet S3 bucket. I have that folder, and here is my main index.manifest file. So let's just try to run it, which is node index.js, and here we go. It is listening on port 3000 and the moment of truth 127 and 3. I want you guys to take a look in the network console, and let's see the files that are downloaded. And here we have the entire file. Now if you see, the first file that's get downloaded is this is the first file, which is the main index.m3u8 file. It goes in here, downloads the entire manifest file. After that, it downloads the main index0.ts file, which is here. Then 1 2 3 4 5 6, and these are all the files that you require to play. Great. Let's just hit the stop button. Okay, now the next thing that we are going to do is let's just go to the objects, and here is my encrypted stream, and I have the key also over here. So this is not what you should be doing, but let's just say let's just try it out. So this is the index file, manifest file. Let's paste it over here, and node index.js. I'm pretty sure you guys would not have imagined that it would be so easy, but it is. Let's again hit the enter button, and as you can see, the program index.m3u8 files get downloaded. Here, as you can see, there is a key associated with it. So what it does, it fetches the key, which is enc.key. It has fetched my key, and after that, as you can see, there were a couple of files, file segment 0, 1 and 2. So it has downloaded all of these, and now you actually know how to pen test and how to actually create a streaming app. So, but that's not the end of it. There are other streaming protocols that behave a bit differently. There is actually a framework or software which is called as DRM, which is explicitly used to encrypt your video files, because right now the file is getting downloaded. If a user can somehow bypass the authentication mechanism or the authorization mechanism, he will actually have the key and actually play all the streams. But DRM does not let you do that so easily. So it's a very big thing to learn. So I would definitely highly recommend you guys to go check it out.